Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be redesigning some of your Amazon merch t-shirts. If you'd like me to review and redesign some of your shirts, use the link in the description and just drop a couple links to some of your Amazon merch products. And then in a future video, I'll do my best to redesign it, see if I can try to make any improvements. I'm not claiming that I make all of these better, but I do my best to talk you through my mindset, my thought process as I attempt to. And there's actually one design in this video where I really don't think I was able to make it any better. So I'll show you that, but I'll show you my attempt to as well. And then you can decide for yourself. But if you're ready, let's get started. Quick reminder to enter my free weekly print-on-demand giveaway where 2 winners are selected every Sunday. This week sponsored by Merch Titans, print-on-demand upload automation, Merch Ninja, Amazon merch, research tools, and All Sunset's premium pre-made sunset graphics that I'm going to be using a few times in this video. The last design, if you stay till the end, is really nice, and you're gonna probably be blown away at how easy it was to create, and I'll walk you through the steps. But the last design that I'm going to show you that I created in an attempt to redesign one of your designs, I really ended up liking, and it was with the help of All Sunsets. So you can enter for free. Use the link in the description. Also in the description, a link to my 7-day Amazon merch mini course and my Amazon merch Facebook group. If you'd like to join, that'd be awesome. All right, let's redesign some t-shirts. So this is the first t-shirt design that I'm going to be redoing. I'm not familiar with the niche, but you can see the text says back to home. So it has a text component. Then it's got a graphic component, and it looks like it's 2 planets and a rocket ship kind of going from one to the other. And you can see the flight path charted. Now this one is not, like, I kind of had to stare at it for a while and figure out how I was going to go about attempting to make this better. Now a few of you can probably guess what I'm going to say next. This design only uses what, maybe 25 to 30, let's just say 30 to 35% of the canvas space. Okay, because remember, the Amazon merch products, it's a vertically oriented portrait canvas. And I always say, try to make your designs bigger. Bigger is better. It stands out in search results. So that's what I attempted to do here. You'll also notice that I went ahead and did something out of the box that I don't normally do. And I vertically oriented the text, which I thought looks pretty good with how I kind of rotated the design. So you see how I flipped the planets and the rocket ship from horizontal to vertical. And then I used a combination of both vertical and horizontal text, which again, this is something outside the box for me. Don't normally do this, but I do kind of like how it turned out. Now I'm guessing at least a handful of you are wondering, how did I vertically orient the text in Photoshop? All you have to do is select your text layer, and then I tried to highlight the little icon up there in the top toolbar. Next to the font selection, there's like a T, and there's like a down arrow and then a right arrow underneath it. So go ahead and click that, and then it'll toggle between vertically oriented and horizontal oriented text. So that's all you have to do to swap it vertical. So here's the side by side. You got the original design on the left, and you've got my version on the right. Now just picture that you're searching for this t-shirt on Amazon, and you're quickly scrolling through search results. Which one are you more likely to click if they're both on the same row? I think they're both good designs, but I'm guessing you may, like my design may catch your eye before the one on the left, because mine utilizes that canvas space more, utilizes more of it. So that's what I attempted to do. Also, I brought a little bit of color into it with the rocket there. Mine's got, red and yellow and orange. All right, and then I made a second version. Now this graphic is pre-made. I didn't have to actually design it myself. It's got that like rainbow rocket, and it says back to home. So it's got the same text, and I just went ahead and spun off a second version. This kind of shows you how you can really make some high quality designs using pre-made graphics. If you subscribe to any of the websites that I talk about, like Vexels is a really popular one. Now I actually got this one off of a website that I don't talk about publicly, but it's in my course because it is one of like my favorite go-tos, and I don't want to give everything away for free on YouTube. So here's the side-by-side of the second version of this shirt, and this one only took me about 10 seconds to make. I literally downloaded the file, drag drop, and then in my Amazon merch baseline template, I already have a curved text layer. So all I had to do was turn on that text layer, change the text. So it took me about 10 seconds. All right, t-shirt design number 2. This one is kind of funny. It said a nerd's 6-pack, and it's got some reading glasses there, and it's got like the repetition, 3 different rows of the reading glasses. And I like that because it makes it look like a 6-pack. And of course, if it's nerdy, you put on your glasses and read or whatever. I wouldn't know. I'm not a nerd, right? Anyways, here's my version of this design. I went ahead and essentially just did what you guys know I like to do. Try to make it bigger. Try to make it a little bit easier to read. Instead of putting the text on one layer, not one layer, one row, I went ahead and I just let the text wrap to a second row. Now, I didn't spend forever on this design. Like, it looks a little bit busy and a little crowded. I'm not a huge fan of that. Like, if I was going to go in and spend more time on it, maybe I'd tweak the text or maybe find a different font that's not as tall. Impact, when I'm using my Amazon merch baseline template, Impact font is just the default that I use. But if I really want to make this perfect, I'd probably find a font family that is not as stretched out vertically and a little bit more condensed, so that the text can still be big and bold at the top, but without it looking as kind of jammed on top of each other. I like the graphic that I found for the sunglasses or reading glasses as well. I tried not to use sunglasses. I wanted it to be more reading glasses style. I think that makes more sense for the design. And I like that they have like the little shading underneath, because to me, it actually makes it look more like a six-pack at a glance. Like if you're just kind of like really quickly looking past this, you may actually think that's like one of those fake six-pack t-shirts. So here's the side by side. Also, mine introduced a little bit more color over here, so maybe that'll, pop a little bit more in search results. Also, if the standard t-shirt that you're going to see on most niches is black, because we know Amazon merch will automatically, if you make a shirt available in the black color, then it's going to be your default thumbnail color. But if you don't make it black available and maybe do white, then white will most likely be your default thumbnail color. So I got that working for me as well. But, these look pretty similar to me. The biggest difference is that I put the text so big on my design. It might be definitely a little overbearing. I should have scaled that back. That could be at risk of a return. If somebody opened that up from Amazon and was like, what the heck, this text is, because like think about how that translates to the actual printed shirt. It's going to be huge. So I might have done a little bit too much there. Maybe I should have scaled down that text. T-shirt design number 3, and this is one that I wasn't really sure if I actually made it any better. So this one is like a funny marijuana leaf cat shirt. So they couldn't actually put the text from the design in the title because there's too much text in the design. And full disclosure, like this is not something that I would typically go after as far as my niche selection. Number one, I just stay away from the stuff like weed, marijuana, drugs. I don't know. I'm like, oh, am I going to trigger the YouTube algorithm if I say weed or drugs? I know that it's legal in a lot of places, but personally, it's like, I don't want to be risking my account if all of a sudden tomorrow, weed is criminalized again. And it's like, get thrown in jail if you have any. I don't want to be playing that game where I have to like police my account. So typically I'm just saying I stay away from stuff like this. Do I believe that it should be criminalized? No, I don't think so. It's just a plant, right? And we're supposed to have anyways, some semblance of freedom to do what we want with our bodies, even though it's kind of taboo these days. Let's not say anything else about that. But this one says, we aren't as loyal as dogs, but we don't tell the cops where your pot is. So it's pretty funny. It's got a graphic of some cats and a weed leaf. It's definitely a busy design, but I think everything is kind of portioned out and scaled out really nicely. The cursive font may make it a little harder to read. Also keep in mind, like, not everybody can really read cursive. I can read cursive, all right? I'm not saying I can't. I'm just saying that, like, I promise you, there's some percentage of the people that shop on Amazon that can't. And they get confused when they see that. And they don't even attempt to slow down and figure out what it says. I know that's crazy, but I promise you it's true. You want to market your designs to the lowest common denominator. So I used a sunset graphic from All Sunsets, which saved me a bunch of time in my design because then I didn't have to recreate the sunset from scratch. I put that big sunset in the background. Then I grabbed a cat silhouette, and then I put a weed leaf on top of it. I mean, I really struggled to find a way of including all of these different elements in this design. It all felt really busy and crowded again. I like using the circle with the curved text because, we know that this approach to design works. It's proven, right? It's tried, it's tested, it's proven its worth. Like we know customers will buy this. So I went with that approach. It's kind of like a cop-out approach for me. If I don't know how to approach a design, I know I can just grab a sunset, put a graphic on top, and put text above and below if necessary. So that's kind of what I did here. I really don't know if my design ended up any better than the original. Potentially just due to the fact that I didn't use cursive, maybe. But I really like the design on the left-hand side there. So I'm not saying that my design's any better. You can kind of let me know in the comments below your thoughts, maybe how you would go about making this design look better. I struggled here. All right, t-shirt design number 4. It says Aloha. It's got a Hawaiian tropical vibe. I don't know why, but the text at the top seems a little weird. Like maybe potentially, just throwing it out there, it might have been like magic wanded and came off a little weird. Could be wrong though, so I'm not trying to accuse anybody of anything, but the quality of the text looks a little bit odd, let's just say. It looks a little bit indicative of maybe it's stolen. Same with the hula girl underneath, but let's just assume that it's not stolen. One thing I'd say about this is I like that you didn't select the black t-shirt color, because then you stand out in search results. It's probably flooded with black shirts, but at the same time, the color scheme you used, I think, would really contrast well against black or against some dark color. So it's like a double-edged sword, right? You don't make it available on black, but I don't know that your color selection is optimized well to be sold on the lighter t-shirts. It's just my personal thought. So anyways, you got a Hawaiian tropical vibe. It says aloha. And let's see how I did my version of the design. So actually, I left the design portion to all sunsets. You can find a link in the description if you want to support the channel. I think it's like $27 for a 1-year license, which comes out to like $2 and change a month, which hopefully you can make back very quickly. I know I sell designs that I created using all sunsets all day. Probably like a third to half of the designs that I sell every single day. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know I've been cracking that $100 to $150 to even $200. Actually, I was on vacation, so I didn't get to post it. But if you follow me on Instagram, I post it on my story every single day, my sales from the day before. And I have all sunsets to thank big time for my sales. And you can see, because these graphics are awesome. Look what I did. Go to all sunsets, search, I think, tropical or something. I might have searched for beach. Click this design because I liked it. Drag, drop, download, drag, drop into Photoshop. And then all I did was, where it says beach there, those letters, I cut out that portion, and then I used my own text layer, and then I colored each individual letter to match the color scheme of the graphic. So this maybe took me a minute and a half to do. I mean, it's literally like select, delete, text layer, drag, type aloha, highlight each letter, color picker. I mean, for me, it's not going to take me very long. I know I'm a huge computer nerd, though. I've been a huge computer nerd for the last 18 years. So full disclosure, it doesn't take me long to do these things. All right, so there you go. Side by side, aloha on the left with the hula girl, and aloha on the right behind me with all of the nice tropical island vibes. Thank you to All Sunset for making that graphic so that I didn't have to. All right, and that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this video. Again, you can find in the description below a link to the Facebook group thread where you can drop a link to your t-shirts and I can review them in future videos. Also, just wanted to remind you that I have a full Amazon merch course that shows you how I took my account from tier 10 to tier 200,000. So if you'd like to see everything that I know, it's a full knowledge transfer from me to you. Check that out. Link in the description, guys. Thank you for watching. Do me a quick favor, like, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll see you tomorrow.